Crabman from Crabman Gaming here, and today we're playing Cricket Captain 2020. Today we have 3 T20 matches against the West Indies. We're not far away from the T20 World Cup. The next playthrough will be 3 T20s against India, and then we are into the World Cup, which should be really exciting. So my previous playthrough was against Zimbabwe. Let's have a look at the squad. We've got a little bit of time. Now, these games are taking place very close to the start of the World Cup. I think the World Cup was supposed to be in October. The T20 World Cup hasn't officially been postponed or cancelled yet, but I do think they will struggle to get the tournament to go ahead. So West Indies versus Australia. So if we have a look at the fixtures, this would have been in October, and then a few weeks later against India, and then the World Cup starts on the 18th with the preliminary matches. So just to get you excited, here are the prelims. Sri Lanka somehow are in the prelims with Ireland, Oman and Papua New Guinea, the surprise packet of the qualifiers. I did watch that. There were a few very interesting teams playing. Jersey, Nigeria. It was interesting to see some of those countries play. Here we have Namibia, Bangladesh, Netherlands and Scotland. Namibia probably most famously remembered for being in the 2003 50-over World Cup, and Glenn McGrath took 7 for 15 against them. So that's pretty much what I remember about Namibia. Okay, let's get this started, because quite often these videos go for a long time. I don't mean them to. Let's see let's actually look at the squad. And let's see if there's anybody I don't really want in there. So we haven't really done that well. We did okay. We've had 4 matches. We kicked off against Scotland, and then we played 3 T20s against England. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I don't really think I need to change anyone in or out of the squad. This is pretty much going to be my squad going forward to the World Cup. We've got a set. Batting, Lynn was a little bit questionable, so he's probably on his last chance. And it's probably between Agar, Stoinis and Marsh for that all-rounder position. Zampa hasn't been amazing either. Maxwell could do with the physio. And I do like Josh Philippi for the keeper in the T20 format. Let's give him some catching practice, and for no real reason whatsoever, let's sharpen up Maxwell's already good fielding skills. Okay, West Indies in Australia. Can I pick the pitch? Yeah, we'll go for a seamers pitch. Sometimes I don't like it if the pitch is too flat. It becomes a bit of a shootout, especially with the West Indies having such aggressive batsmen as well. They're a very dangerous and exciting T20 side, the West Indies. Let's go with Warner, Finch, Smith. I'm not really sure what's happened here, but let's get Lynn at 4, Maxwell at 5. I did have Agar. I'm going to give Stoinis a go at 6 and Philippi at 7. I know he opens. They're very reluctant to play Stoinis in the middle overs in real life, because he opens and he does well, and he struggled coming in down the order. But I'm going to give him a go along with Stark, Cummins and Hazelwood and Zampa for the spin option. I'm just going to pick one spinner. Okay, let's have a look at the West Indian lineup. Probably should be quite familiar with the names. We've got Shai Hope, Evan Lewis, Shimron Hetmeyer, very aggressive. Kyron Pollard in at 4. Chris Gale, the universe boss, at number 5. I believe this is Brandon King. Roston Chase, who took 8 for 60 in their test match against England. He's probably, in my opinion, one of the most underrated all-rounders in the world. Bats well, bowls off-spin. Jason Holder, generally the captain of the side, can bat as well. Scored a test double 100. Ash Nurse, Sunil Narain as the spin pairing, and Kemar Roach. I'm not sure if I would pick Ash Nurse. Sunil Narain's a good T20 bowler, but let's see how we go. We might send the West Indies in, I think, and put some pressure on their batsmen. All right, let's do highlights for the power play and the last. Actually, for bowling, I keep it on for the whole thing. But batting, highlights for the first 6 and the last 5. All right, let's see how we go. Stark, very dangerous early. Evan Lewis is gone. Plum, first ball. Stark's got him on your way. Very dangerous batter. I'm pretty sure he's got a few T20 hundreds, international hundreds to his name. Yeah, he does. There's 2 of them. And he might have even got one of the fastest ever T20 hundreds. I think when they were playing in the United States, they played a few but T20's in the United States. I think against India. And the scores were huge because they were playing them in baseball arenas. Is that a snick? Oh, that's a snick. Gone. Shimron Hetmeyer is out. Another aggressive batsman. He's gone for 1. The West Indies at disarray at 2 for 3 in the very first over. And who you wouldn't want up the other end is Paddy Cummins, T20 international bowling average of 17.1. Gets hit for A6, but that's okay. They've still got Pollard and the universe boss to come, so they could recover. They're a very good outfit. Pollard skied one into the air. Should be taken at deep mid on that backwards catch. Somebody posted an excellent comment about being frustrated that they couldn't fix that animation for the past decade. So there's another example of the weird backwards catch that always seems to be in the game. And Stark's been pretty expensive, but he has 3 for 28 from 3. Cummins I'm going to take off, and I'm going to give Hazelwood an over. I'm going to give Stoinis 1 and then go into the spin. Oh, the power play's done. Someone did ask me about my tactics here as well. Generally, I like to keep it in a T20 match, 2 bars, and then I just have no bars and have all the field out. It seems to work for me, but please let me know how you play, because maybe I've been playing it wrong for 15 years, but it seems to work for me. You don't really need too much aggression. You're trying to save runs as much as you can. Here comes Zampa. I would like him to start getting a little bit of form going into the World Cup. Bowling to Shy Hope. Oh, I thought that was going to be bold. That's probably a run out animation, but not out. Oh, and not a wicket there, but West Indies they're going at 9 and over. So Zampa has been hit for a few runs. Might persist with him in this series. I'm just going to give Glenn Maxwell 1 here around the wicket. Don't know why I did that. And then, do you know, I might go wide to the left-hander. It's always good to get an off-spinner in. Oh, that's stumped. Well done, Glenn Maxwell. Gets a wicket first ball. Gets the universe boss. Strolls down the wicket. Lazily wafting at a Glenn Maxwell floater. And he is gone. How many did he make? Just 18. Shy Hope is really setting the bar with his 57. We've got Brandon King. Good T20 average. Hasn't done much in the internationals so far. Roston Chase. So if you look at that test average, 31 with the bat. And I know it's 43 with the ball, but he does play for the West Indies, and generally they get beaten every game. So I would have him in my side if I was the West Indies. Okay, here comes Zampa. Can he get a wicket? He needs a wicket. Oh, there's an inside edge. That's gone. Brandon King's on his way. Roston Chase is in. The wickets are falling. I still think it was a good decision to set the West Indies in. That's plum. First ball. Roston Chase is out. I've promoted him. I've said he's awesome, and he has a Golden Globe. It's a one-man show for the West Indies on a hat-trick. Let's watch it. See if there is a hat-trick. I like to just play every ball if it's a hat-trick ball. He's just left it. You've got to buy. Because then you don't know what's going to happen. If you still have the highlights on, there's a chance. I like to turn them off if there's a chance of a hat-trick. It just makes it a little bit more natural. Well, Zampa's pulled it back. I'm going to give Maxwell 1 more, and then he can... That's really Stoinis's 4 overs between them. I do like that flexibility in this lineup. I generally like just having 5 bowlers in T20s if you have a good set of 5 bowlers, but I don't want to rely on 4 from Stoinis every game, so having Maxwell to bowl 1 or 2 is quite handy. Alright, come on Paddy Cummins. Still not a bad score from the West Indies. If they can get to around the 170 mark, that's going to be very competitive. Shy Hope's gone for 82. He scored most of their score. Alright, let's get Stark on. And he's just going to bowl full to Ashnurse. Oh, big snick. Free hit. And doesn't get a wicket. And let's finish off these last 3 overs. Ashnurse, there he is. He's plumb for 2. Sunil Narayan. Let's go full to the tail. All right, Cummins. Yeah, well, has can be very aggressive and can open as well in the T20 format. He's got 7 T20 50s. He either seems to bat 1 or bats 9. So it's a really interesting development in his career because he was definitely a tail end batter, and all of a sudden he started opening in the T20 format, and it was really bizarre, and his job was just to be as aggressive as possible. So West Indies, that's a pretty good score, 8 for 174. Holder a really good 33 to support Shy Hope's 82, and you'll probably see that his strike rate is really, really high, strike rate of 150, and probably in the last couple of years, it might even be more than that as well. Look, 157. His job was to just try and hit every ball for 6, and then it didn't really matter because he was going to bat at 9 anyway, so it was kind of seen as a free wicket. All right, let's bat the first 6. It's a pretty intimidating score, but we do have lots of aggressive batsmen. So I hope you're enjoying this game. If you're, it's a no ball. Oh, Kemar Roach has overstepped. What a redemption story as well for Kemar Roach. I think I mentioned it in one of the other videos that I remember him bowling against Australia in a test match in 2005, and then he kind of faded into obscurity, and then he came roaring back as one of the leading wicket takers in the world a couple of years ago. So good start, 10 above the DLS. Now I'm waffling so much. I was just saying, if you're enjoying the video, please just flick a quick like down the bottom or a comment. I've loved all the cricket comments I've had over the past week. I responded to every single one. So thank you if you are one of the people who are commenting. And thank you if you are a recent subscriber as well. Subscriptions are very steadily climbing up since I've been doing Cricket Captain, so thank you very much. Okay, 40 off the first. Can we get through the power play without a wicket? We have, and we still need 9 and over. So we just need to keep an eye. Finch is out. I really should have, I do have bowling on. Here's Ashnurse. Look at that bowling average. How many games has he played? 17, but just 11 wickets. So Warner's going to target him. Do you use this link aggression bar much? I tend to only use it if there's a really average bowler on and I want to target him, but then sometimes I forget to link it back together. So he's going to be watchful against Narayan and a little bit more aggressive against Nurse. And that seems to be working pretty well. Kieran Pollard. Is he their 5th bowler? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I probably would have bowled Roston Chase. Because I don't think Pollard has a... Here we go, he's on. My man, Roston Chase. Alright. He's bowled a tidy over. Still needs 7. It's this game can turn very quickly if you start to lose wickets. Ashnurse is on here, and this is where I'm going to go really aggressively and try to win the game in this over, but he'll probably get a wicket. Alright, there's a 4 and a 1. Smith's in. What can he do? Lovely dab for 4. It's kind of a dab, but it's really more of a cut shot. Here's Smith again. Lovely on drive. That's a really good over. 12, 15 from it. And now just, well, not just 33, but the equation is easing a little bit, and they're still going to bowl Roston Chase, which I probably would have left him and bowled Roach or Holder, but we are playing against the computer, so they kind of have set algorithms that they will bowl people in, which would be different to, you or me playing the game, whereas we tend to, if the game's not going to go to the last over, you'd probably save you'd save your 5th bowler for the last over and think, well, gee, if we get there, they may as well have a bowl, but you don't want to leave one of your best bowlers without bowling with an over left and the game lost. So this game has gone pretty well. The series have been pretty interesting so far. The matches have been very back and forth, but I've played 27 from 18. It's still not a done deal. And again, I say this every video, but I'm going to keep saying it until Childish Things put this in the game. Runs to win, balls remaining, under the score. I'm going to keep saying it. Keep emailing them. Keep pressuring them. I love the game. I absolutely love it. I'm not complaining. Well, only a little bit. But please put that in a patch or in next year's game, please. Because my math skills are good. But when I'm commentating, it's sometimes hard to keep track. 26 from 15. Yeah, it's still not a done deal. You feel like Australia will get there. However, you don't want to lose only 2 or 3 wickets down. All right, well done from Smith. 21 from 12. Yeah, that's... I'm going to go every ball. It's a little bit worrying, and you've got Roach and Holder. So I do feel a bit nervous. Oh, dear. And there's a wicket. Well, we've got Glenn Maxwell to come in. 21 from 11. Oh, no. Maxwell's gone first ball. Come on, Stoinis. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Australia are stuck. That's only a single. Oh, this is bad. Come on, Smith. You need a 4. Need a 4 or a 6 this ball. Oh, that is a very welcome 6. It is 14 off the last 6 balls. How has this gone wrong? It is a big score, and you do have to keep scoring. You tend to, when you lose wickets, the run rate can climb very, very quickly. 14 to win. Come on, Stoinis. 13 off 5. Oh, 13 off 5. I thought that was going to be run out. Is that for 4? Oh, it's just got a hand on it. It's 11 off 4. Gee, I'm feeling nervous. I don't think we're going to get there. Oh, he's missed one. 11 off 3. There's so many wickets in hand as well. We just weren't aggressive enough. 11 off 3. That's 7 off 2. Still in with a small chance. Oh, no. Best we can hope for is a tie. And that's not a tie. That's just a single. Australia lose. Oh, that is frustrating. We probably just weren't aggressive enough. We only lost 4 wickets. I think Warner just wasn't aggressive enough, and it's hard to say when you score 87 off 61, but you know, that's 8.7 and over, and we needed I don't know, it's a really strange game. So anyway, we need to win the last 2. It's a little bit of a lesson learnt there. How did Stoinis bowl? I want to try and give him a bit of a run in the side, but he didn't really do anything. We'll keep the pace bowling option. We'll give Stoinis another game. Maybe we'll bat this time, though. Have they swapped anyone around? It looks like the same lineup. We'll bat in game number 2. Well, we need to win these remaining 2 games of the series to win. Well, we need to win the last 2 games to win the series, because we're already 1-0 behind. Seems to be a theme of Australia wanting to always drop a game. Good start from Finch. Don't want to put there's a saying we have, put the mocker on someone and him get out, and he's gotten out. That is what has happened. Steve Smith needs to step up, probably the best player in Australia's lineup. I mean, he's definitely Australia's best batsman overall. Wonder if you could call him Australia's best T20 batsman, though. I think he still has a little bit to prove. Oh, that's out as what? Oh no, bounced. I thought that was an excellent catch. Now we know West Indies have a very strong batting lineup, so we probably want to look at about 180 plus, because they'll just come out swinging. especially with the Universe Boss at number 5. And he was banished from the Big Bash a few years ago for making a very sexist comment to a female reporter. That's shelled. Smith's been dropped, and he was then not ever signed back after that season, which is a shame because he's such a destructive batsman. I'm sure fans in Australia would like to see it, but not really what you can say to a reporter. Not really okay. All right, Smith batting. Is this the 6th over? I might have kept the highlights on a little bit too long, but Narayan's on. Let's try and get some runs against these spinners. Oh, is that an edge? No, not an edge. Nice little skip action. Oh, beautiful sweep. That is a hard sweep shot into the fence. I didn't really look where we're playing these games either. I never usually worry about what ground you're playing on because you can select the wicket, so it doesn't really ever say on these screens. Does it say here? Yes, I'm never really that bothered. It's probably the background picture, but maybe it's not. I can't even tell. It doesn't look like an Australian ground. Maybe it is. I don't know. I never really pay that much attention. Okay, that was the 7th over, so I was meant to turn the highlights off. But Ash Nurse is coming on, so let's crank it up and try and hit him for some runs. Here's Pollard doing really well. Good opening. Well, it's not an opening partnership, but there was a partnership record. Well done, Smith and Warner. Smith 73. Warner's made it to his 50. I'm going to crank Warner up a little bit here. All-time record at Adelaide. That's where we are. Doesn't look like the Adelaide cricket ground to me. But, maybe it is. Okay, where are we up to? Last 4 overs. I meant to put the highlights back on. Smith is 82. He doesn't have a T20 100 to his name yet. His best score is 90. He's got 1 domestically. Hasn't really played a lot of T20 cricket. Played a lot earlier in his career. Was in the Australian squad for the T20 World Cup final when Australia lost to England. And he was batting about 8 or 9 in that game, and was when he was playing as a leg spinner. So he was in Australia's T20 squad very early on. And then if you are playing Test cricket and one-day cricket, you generally don't have a lot of time to play T20s as well. But they have tried to squeeze him back in over the past year in preparation for these dual T20 World Cups in 2020 and 2021 that don't look like they're taking place now, especially the one in Australia, which is a real shame. Was looking forward to seeing a few of the matches. 6 from Warner. Really need to push on past 200. Maybe I haven't been quite aggressive enough. I'm always wary about going that full aggression bar because it never seems to go well. Batsmen seem to just get out straight away if you make it full. And sometimes it's really frustrating. If someone's really set like Smith, I'm going to crank him full and let's see if he gets out the very next ball he faces, because that happens quite a lot. The second you try and put them on full, he'll get out next ball. So let's wait for Smith's very next ball. Well, he didn't get to face too many. Warner's hogging the strike. Warner must be near 100 as well, as he's hit a couple of boundaries. Warner 96, Smith 92 in the final over. Do you know what? We're going to watch every ball. Let's try and remember what they're on and see if they can both get to 100. I think Warner has one. Yes, he does. He's got 100, exactly 100 not out. I think that was off the last ball of the innings. I think he had to hit a 4, and he did. Might have been against Pakistan, but I can't remember. Okay, 96, 92, Smith on strike. 92. Or 93. Warner's on 96. And it's... oh, dot. That's not good. And that's out. That is out. It's hit him in line. Up goes the finger. Not only has Warner not got a ton, but Chris Lynn or Maxwell. He's going to cost Smith 100 unless Maxwell gets a single. Oh, gone first ball again. On a hat trick. Jason Holder. See, not a very good last over here from Australia. Smith, just don't come back for two. No, just a single. To end the innings, highest score for Australia versus West Indies at Adelaide. I don't think they've played that often, to be honest, so I'm not surprised. Who got smashed? Really everybody apart from Jason Holder. 96 from Warner. 93 not out from Smith. Let's see if we can defend this score. I meant to put Stark on full. Evan Lewis, can he get him out? Oh, dropped him. Nearly got him out for 2 golden ducks in successive games. Maybe the next ball, it's a waft. You don't want Evan Lewis to get going because he is very dangerous indeed. So that's my little superstitious aggression click back and forth. That's from 19 where the field is set to aggressively. It's just ingrained into my memory to just click back and forward. I know the field is the same. I'm just used to doing it. So sorry if that's a bit weird or you're wondering what I'm doing. Generally what happens in 19 is the field starts like this, even on 2 aggression bars. So you have to click back and forward just to make it this aggression in the power play. So I'm sure a few of you were wondering what I was doing. Evan Lewis gone. Starkey is the leading wicket taker. I think Cummins he's with Cummins. Yeah, so Cummins is 50. So Cummins and Stark are pretty close, 50 and 51. So we may see the record change hands continually in these games. Alright, they're pretty on par. Definitely don't want to lose because the series will be gone. Here's Zampa. Took a wonderful 6 for earlier in the videos. I think it was in a one day though. Where is it? No, it's not here. Let's have a look. No, it was in a T20, which is weird because we were actually bowling first as well. Usually you'll get these big wicket hauls if you're bowling second and you are defending a big score and the opposition will just collapse. Kind of what might happen to the West Indies here. There's Pollard. He's out for a duck. In comes the universe boss. Hit a huge 6 first ball. Can Zampa take 3 in the over? No, it's pitched outside leg, hitting outside leg. Very optimistic appeal. I would like Stoinis to get some wickets here. The run rate's pushed over 11. Zampa's doing a good job. Or top edge. No, it's gone a bit fine. It's that same bounce fielding that we saw earlier. Zampa to Shimron Hetmeyer. It's a really fun save if you play as the West Indies as well. I've played through as the West Indies a few times over the years. Really good fun to play with them. Sometimes you can even just put them on a T20 save and play them internationally as T20's only. That's good fun as well. And I've dabbled in the West Indies first class system as well, but playing the Caribbean Premier League is lots of fun. Zampa's got Gale again. I think he got him in the last game, but I might have forgotten. Sometimes it gets a bit blurry. That's outside the line. I'll give Stoinis another one because I would like to see him get a wicket. Zampa's just going to bowl all the way through. Glad to see him finding a little bit of form. He's bowled Brandon King. I don't think Brandon King will play the next game. He'll probably be dropped after 2 lean games. Alright, let's get Maxwell on as well. Let's slide him in for one. He did okay. Hazelwood. Still waiting for Hazelwood to find his form in the T20 format. I mean, he's averaged 32. It's okay. He probably needs a big haul. 61 needed from 18, so not very likely unless they get a really big over here. Oh, there's a 4. This over's gone for 9. That's not enough. 52 from 12. Gee, Josh Hazelwood's gone the journey. And the series is now wrapped up. So stay tuned for match number 3 as we go down to a series decider again. Hetmeyer has bowled well. All right, Josh Hazlewood to finish proceedings. Can he get a wicket? Did need a wicket because that average is high. Can he get another one to Ash Nurse? I should have brought the field in. Ash Nurse has gone for the big smash. Is he caught on the boundary? No, he's been hit for, strangely, a 4. Looked like it went into the boards on the full, but they've consulted the television replay and it's bounced just inside. West Indies fall 37 short. It was a big score to chase down. Hetmeyer, wonderful 78. One-man army. Seems to be the case with West Indies batting. 1 each for Stark, Cummins. 1 for Hazlewood. He was expensive. 4 for Zampa. Sadly, none for Stoinis. And Maxwell just the 1 over. We're into the decider. So thank you for staying tuned. I'm still yet to see rain in this game. I checked my Steam stats before I started this playthrough, and I've played for 10 hours now, and I've still yet to see any rain. Oh, just 1 over short of a result. And I've played in England, and I've played the 100, and I've played the IPL, and I've played test matches, and I haven't even seen any rain in first class matches, in test matches. I have yet to see 1 drop of rain so far. I'd like to mix it up, but this is the decider. I'm going to give Mitch Marsh a go at 6. Stoinis hasn't done amazingly well. Lynn's supposed to be batting at 4. Yeah, he hasn't done very much. Chris Lynn. He does average 30. Yeah, I'll keep him in. I think he's a real X-Factor player, and having Lynn and Maxwell there could really turn the tide of a match. I probably should bat Philippi above Marsh, actually. But Marsh batted really well last year in the Big Bash. Did hit a huge, I think it was an 87 not out at Optus Stadium. Oops, why have I turned highlights off? Highlights for the first 6. I didn't check the West Indian side, did they? Oh, Brandon King's still there. I think it's still the same lineup. Yep, it's exactly the same. Alright, come on, Smith. Beautiful Smith shot. The game gets his leg side. He must have strong leg side preference. Slight offside preference. Interesting. It should say extremely strong leg side preference. Extremely strong preference for shuffling across the stumps. Which sometimes it gets LBW. Oh, nice hit. Pretty good start. Oh, Narayan's in on the... Oh, Ash Nurse is in on the power play. Let's go big. I'm going to risk it for 1 big over with the field up. It could backfire, but it could pay off. This is my risk. Nurse in the power play. That's out. I've targeted him the whole time. It kind of looks like it's going down leg, but it's probably grazing leg stump. Yes, it is. Yeah, so that wasn't great. Hopefully Lynn can... That's going down leg. So you do get used to the animations as well. Plus, I'd like to think I'm a pretty good judge of an LBW, especially if I'm batting, because it's always not out. I've never been LB legitimately in my life. It's always going over or down leg, or you've snicked it. I actually did have a run where I got given out 3 or 4 times in a row, and honestly, I think 3 of those times I had edged the ball, and I just got given out every week LBW. It was incredibly frustrating. It's probably the most frustrating way to get out is being LBW, and it's even worse if you have snicked it and you're still given out LBW. It's even more crushing. And just some information for you. I was actually meant to play cricket today. I was meant to play a T20, but sadly it has been raining a lot and the game was cancelled. So I have spent today not playing cricket. So hopefully wherever you are around the world, if you're into your cricket, hopefully cricket comes back soon. I'm very fortunate that where I am at the moment, it's quite isolated and gatherings are allowed and certain sports are allowed as well. Okay, 4 for 110, great, over 3 sixes. Mitch Marsh is my man. I've put him ahead of Philippi. I've backed him in. I've backed him in again. Come on, Chris Lynn. Do me proud. Whoops, I was supposed to turn the highlights on. Master Rapid 28 does captain the Perth Scorchers in the Big Bash League. I know I talk about the Big Bash a lot, but I probably watch just about every game when it is on in the summer. And hopefully you can watch it wherever you are around the world. It's lost its luster a little bit. I think just expanding it out to 16 games or 14 games, whatever it was just too many. I kind of liked the 10-game format. That was quite good. It just seems to go for too long. It goes for 2 entire months. It kind of needs to be finished by the end of January, and it can start mid-December. Maybe it could even start second week of December and then finish at the end of January. It kind of just rounds out the school holiday series. Oh, how has he snicked a full toss from Pollard? But Lynn with a very valuable 44 of 33 balls. Philippi is going to up the ante. We're looking at a score close to the 200 mark. Philippi's barbecued Stark, but that's okay because it's Mitchell Stark. Snick from Philippi. Now it's a little bit. I'll get through this over and I'll discuss my next point in a few overs time when we've gone through the innings break. I do have something I haven't talked about yet, but is something that I would like to discuss. Poor Zampa always seems to come in with a few balls to go and get out quite quickly. No hat trick for Kemar Roach. Hazelwood, huge 4. I thought he was going to hit him for 6. Oh, I can't do it again. But 191 all out. Oh, at Perth. We must be at the Optus Stadium. Yeah, this background definitely Optus Stadium because Optus Stadium is magnificent. Absolutely wonderful stadium. So Kemar Roach expensive, but 3 wickets, 2 for Holder, 2 for Nurse. Nurse was probably the best bowler with Narayan. They were smashed in the last game and they've combined well in this game. So 191 to defend to win the series. Okay, I wonder if they've fixed this DLS after 1 over yet. I know there was a patch. I think it was 20.05, but I could be wrong as well. Sometimes I can be wrong. Yeah, they have fixed it. So in my previous videos, after an over, this DLS always said 0 after the first over. So I'm glad they have fixed that. So maybe it's from my videos, maybe it's from you emailing in, maybe it's just from them testing the game themselves. All right, here comes Cummins. Let's get Stark full and straight at the stumps. There's a snick. Who's that? What a catch. Aaron Finch. Always fields at first slip. Shy Hope's gone. Cummins now has the record back off Stark. I can see those two swapping the record over and over again. Whoops, I forgot to make him full. Big hit from Evan Lewis. Catch him on the boundary. Who's down there? The backwards catch again. Where's my friend? Post it in the comments. The big backwards catch from Glenn Maxwell. To be fair, Maxwell is such a talented fielder. He probably could catch it backwards. So my thoughts are that I was wondering if it was time for the Cricket Captain Series to introduce playable female leagues, because we know they've been introduced into Cricket 19 and a couple of cricket games before that as well. And I know it's difficult to do all the women's cricketers from around the world and get them in with their stats and make it work really well. So my thoughts were, because the women's Big Bash League is so strong, perhaps Childish Things are in Cricket Captain 2021. That's out. Pollard's out. So perhaps in Cricket Captain 2021, Stark's got it back, you could have the women's league, but just start with a women's Big Bash and just start with the squads that are available at the start of the season. And if it's too difficult to do a draft and more than one season, perhaps you could just start with the one season of the WBBL and just have the current squads and just let people play through one season, because that's a 14 or 16 game season as well, plus finals. So that might be a really great place to start with women's cricket. You could have one season of the Big Bash just to begin with and develop it as the years go on. I think it is time to have that introduced. The T20 the Women's World Cup here in Australia was very successful. The games were very entertaining. I was really impressed with the Thai women's team when they came out. You probably, when you saw them in the field or coming out to bat, they probably couldn't look less like cricketers. But when they started to play, you could see some real talent emerging from the Thai women, and they more than justified their place in the World Cup. I think they had a close game where they probably should have won, and I think rain may have saved their opponents, which could have been, I want to say Sri Lanka, but memory is a little bit hazy. So the rate's already blasted out to 13 and over. Some really tight bowling from Hazelwood, and Marsh wants that fielding position. Sorry, I don't know why he's bowling around the wicket. That's just me getting distracted pitching my WBBL cricket captain idea. So let me know your thoughts in the comments if you would like to play as one of the women's leagues, or maybe how they could implement it next year. I think that would be a good system, though. You could just have one playable season to start with and then grow from there. And I don't think that would be too difficult. So if you're not familiar with the Women's Big Bash as well, it follows the exact same formats as the men. So it's the same teams. So Scorchers, Hurricanes, Sydney Sixers, Sydney Thunder, and so on. So people should be familiar with the branding, even though in the game they're called Sydney Red and, Sydney Green, which is a little bit annoying. It must be a licensing issue. I always tend to rename the teams anyway because, that's how cool I am. Renaming cricket captain teams. Same thing with 100 as well. I had to rename all the 100 teams as well, and one of the teams was too long to fit. I don't think it was the Northern Superchargers. It might have been them. The team name was their name was too long. Okay, I've tried to mix it around. We've got 2 overs to go. West Indies really fizzled out in this series, so thanks for watching. I'm loving all the support, and I'm just blown away really by how popular these videos have been. I was wondering if they'd get any views at all. I've tried a few different things on my channel. Some things have had some success. Some things I've tried and they have bombed horribly, but it's all part of the learning process. Now, sorry, Paddy Cummins, I'm going to go with Mitch Marsh for this final over. Here's our big win. Gale, I don't know what he was doing, but he's got 48 off 48. It's almost like they didn't even try to get the score. Oh, I thought it was good. This could be a run out to finish the innings. It's not. West Indies finish on a very strange 4 for 149, and Australia win the series 2-1 after a shaky start. Here are some other games going on. Some one-dayers. You'd think everyone would want to play T20 so close to the World Cup. Let's have a quick look at the series stats before I wrap this video up. Steve Smith, I'm going to call him my man of the series. 198 runs, being dismissed just once at a strike rate of 161. Warner, 61 at 156, so that was good as well. Mitch Marsh, just the 1 innings. Lynn, still struggling to cement his place. Finch has not done well this year, and not really much else to write home about. The bowlers shared it around pretty well from the core, well, the 3. Stark and Zampa 6 each. Cummins didn't really take too many. Hazelwood is struggling, so he may be rotated out, maybe for Jai Richardson. And we're really looking for support from this 5th bowler. It's okay against the West Indies, but if you're playing one of the top sides and it's a World Cup, you want someone who's going to take some wickets. Quick look at the West Indies. Let's look at the leading run scorers. Shai Hope did pretty well, along with Shimron Hetmeyer. Universe Boss was very slow, and Brandon King got a few runs in the final game. He just got chipped along with 25 not out. Bowling, Kemar Roach was good but expensive. Economy was high. 4 for Holder, and not really much else to talk about. Alright, well, thanks very much for watching the video. The next video is 3 T20s against India. That looks very tasty indeed. followed by the T20 World Cup. Have a wonderful rest of your day.